What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we are checking out the all-new Toyota GR86, the successor to the old GT86, and one of the most fun cars on sale today. This thing is amazing. I absolutely love it. It is so simple, it is so friendly, fun, cheap, and it just is the antidote to everything that is wrong with cars today, especially performance cars. They are overcomplicated, they are too heavy, sometimes even overpowered, and this is the complete opposite. This is simple, you don't need a lot of power, it's light. I love it so much. And we have one man to thank for this car today, because Michel at P1 TV asked us if we wanted to drive this Toyota GR86, and he came to our spot in his lunch break. So thank you, Michel. Thank you so much, really appreciate it. Go check out Michel's channel, P1 TV, on YouTube and Instagram. I'll put his links in the description below. Make sure you check him out, because we really appreciate him coming over and letting us have a go in this Toyota GR86. As I said, it replaces the GT86 GR Gazoo Racing, the new performance label at Toyota. You can see a badge in the grille here as well. You've got the Yaris, the Corolla, the Supra. Toyota is on a roll these last few years. They are making a lot of cool and fun cars these days. So yeah, Toyota's on a roll. And the GT86 was with us for a long time, so it could definitely use a bit of freshening up. So you can see the headlights, the bumper, everything is a bit more clean, a bit sleeker, a bigger grille at the front as well. And then this car has winter tires, so we've got these 17-inch, little 17-inch wheels. You can also get 18s on this car, 215 section tire at the front. And then moving down the side, it's a small little coupe, really nice. And at the rear we've got 215 as well, so it's 215s all around, and that means that you can slide it around so easily. It's a very tail happy car, and the winter tires just emphasize that effect. Basically, it is such a fun little car. Now I have to say that you have to approach this car as like, it's basically a hot hatch competitor, I would say. So in the US it's $29,000, starts at $29,000. In Germany, for example, it's 37, starts at 37, although there are a lot of premiums being asked right now, so 40 to 45 is quite normal. It's a really good base to start tuning, or it's a really good base as, you know, as a first car or as a second car. If you want to learn how to drive a rear-wheel drive car or a manual, it's just so simple and approachable. Now we've got a little boot as well, cute little boot lid. You know, you've got some decent trunk space, and if you lower the seats, the rear seats, you can actually fit 4 wheels and tires in there. So if you go to a track day, you can fit your track day wheels in there, which is really nice. Super large exhaust tips, and then a massive silencer, center silencer. And that is a bit of a problem with this car. It has a 2.4 liter boxer 4-cylinder engine, which I will show you right now, but it sounds like nothing. There's hardly any sound. It sounds like your everyday, you know, shopping car. It's really not a great sound. So it is the 2.4, as I said, so it's basically a Subaru engine. They developed the car together with Toyota, but the engine was developed by Subaru, and it is a 2.4 now instead of the 2 liter you got in the old GT86. In that car you had 200 horsepower, 205 newton meters of torque, which was a lot of fun, but I have to say slightly underpowered. Especially, you know, the torque, it could definitely use a bit more torque. So this car's got a 2.4, and that is because they rebored the cylinders, so you have a bit more capacity, and you now have 234 horsepower and 250 newton meters of torque. And not just that, but also the rev limiter is a bit higher, and the torque is available earlier and for a longer period of time. So that really benefits the drivability in general. They improved a few other things as well, chassis wise. So the torsional stiffness up by 50%, and you know, it's just a better car all around. But this is a big improvement. A Subaru BRZ is also available in some countries. I know that in the US it's already there, and in Europe apparently it is coming. Michel told us that it was spotted on the Subaru Austria website, so apparently that is also coming to Europe, which is nice. Apparently it's a bit softer than the GT or the GR, so the GR is the more sporty version. So interior wise, you've got really nice seats, super supportive. Seating position is okay. I mean, you sit nice and low actually, but the steering wheel could be, you know, a bit more adjustable. So this is like the furthest it will go, I think. So yeah, all the way up, all the way out. But I could do with a little more. So that could be a bit better, but the steering wheel itself is beautiful. It's nice and thin. GR badge. It's small. It's got an 8-inch little infotainment screen. You hardly have anything in there. I mean, you've got radio and media and phone and stuff, and you don't even have navigation, but it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and that again highlights that approach. You know, it's simple, it's not complicated, and I really like that. So little storage down here with 2 cup holders as well, seat heating, traction control buttons, and then your climate stuff down here. Super nice 6-speed manual gearbox, and that is it. Rear wheel drive. The simplicity is king in this car, and I really like it. All right, so we've got a co-driver again, because as you can see, those rear seats are not really meant for a human of this size, amazing athletic proportion. So he's going to join me and have some fun. Now, let's start it up. As I said, there's hardly any sound, which is a shame, because we just saw a video of the last one, which did sound quite a bit better. It's like revving your grandma's Suzuki Baleno or whatever they're called, which is a shame. I would expect them to be able to, you know, do at least a bit. And well, I'm going to let you guys hear what they did to fix that, which is just pump a whole lot of really bad fake sound into the cabin. Oh my god, it sounds like an old video game, you know, PGR or Gran Turismo or something from like the 90s. And it's literally louder than the sound that the car is producing, so you don't even hear the engine, which, yeah, that's the wrong way around in my opinion. They should have at least tried to pump some engine sound into the cabin or something like that, you know, with an intake. Or, I mean, I know it's a super cheap car, and that's probably why, you know, they didn't have budget for stuff like that, but would have been fun. That's how you do a 180 in a GR86. It just always wants to waggle its tail, always. And that is also down to those winter tires, as I said, but it is so fun. It's always inviting you to just have some fun, to just, you know, grab it and throw it around a little bit. Yeah, that's hardly any sound. So, 0 to 100, the old car, GT86, did 7.6 seconds. This car, 6.3. That is a lot faster. So big improvement there. And we measured a 6.4 second 0 to 100, but that is with these tires that don't really grip. If you have the 18-inch wheels, I think you also get Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tires as standard. You should be able to get very close to 6 seconds dead. So that is quite impressive. And of course, because you don't have that much power, I mean, It's not a heavy car, it weighs 1275 kilos, 10 kilos lighter even than the GT86, which is quite impressive considering all the things they added, and the fact that I think, you know, it looks a bit bigger, a bit bulkier, a bit more muscular. But 1275 is not bad, but you know, it doesn't really have that much power. So the cool thing is that you're never really going that fast. It's not like, you know, you're exceeding the speed limit by that much that quickly, which is really cool. Just going to get some distance. So from like just, I think after 4,000 RPM, that is when it starts coming alive. That fake sound, I mean, we've been driving it for like an hour and it's already driving us absolutely nuts. It's always there, you can't turn it off. I would definitely try to get rid of that. So even if you don't have track mode engaged, this is basically just for your traction control, so, but it is a track mode. Even if you have it in like normal mode, the fake sound is always there. And it shouldn't be. Okay, so at the Autobahn, full throttle. And there we go. So as I said, it's not really that fast, but still 100 to 200, we measured a 15.96 run, which is pretty impressive. As you can see in our lists, it is among like hot hatches with 250 to 270 horsepower, which is really impressive. So top speed, there we go, is limited at 222 GPS. This is 229 on the speedo, and it is a, well, let's say a less than sophisticated speed limiter, because it basically just jolts against it. So it's like rrr, 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 which is very weird. But it could go faster, definitely. Oh, nice. Yeah, that was fourth. There's like a delay in the gear indicator. There we go. What is that? Like 7,500 RPM red line. Yeah, it's not really that fast, but it is fun, and it is very, very rare in its proposition. You know, there's really nothing you can compare this to, which makes it the best at what it does. And it would be cool if more people would go for cars. Well, cars. It would be cool if more people would buy this instead of a hot hatch, or, you know, go for anything else than a crossover or an SUV or whatever. Good cars are still being built. This is one of them. That is basically what I want to say. It just, you know, it's still there. It's simple. It's not complicated, and it delivers. The only problem is that from July 2024, new EU regulations will mean that this car will end July 2024 because of safety regulations, and they need like cameras and stuff like that. And that means that they would have to redesign the entire front end. The windscreen angle would have to change. So yeah, they're not going to do that, which is a real shame. And it's very popular as well. I saw that in the UK, 2 years worth of production allocations was sold out in 90 minutes, which is very quick. So apparently, you know, People still want this kind of thing. So yeah, all in all, an amazing little car, really impressive, so fun to drive. The only weird things are that top speed. I don't understand why it's not higher than 225 or 226, whatever it is. It could go much faster, and the fake sound, they really have to get rid of that, because it is just annoying and doesn't add anything. I think if you get rid of that, put a nice exhaust on it, I think you've got a completely different experience already. But it's super fun the way it is. Oh, there's a guy coming out of the truck. Oh, that was quite dangerous. So, Michel, thank you so much for taking the GR to us. Really appreciate it. To you guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button. You can also check out this video on the right or this playlist on the left. See you at the next one. Or
Michel's channel.
Or check out Michel's channel by hitting the P1 TV button in the middle as well. Thanks, guys. See you at the next one. Bye.